Hi, I'm Axelle Carolyn, and this is Trailers from Hell. I would like to talk about Event Horizon, which came out in 1997. I still remember at the time seeing the advertising before the release and getting very excited, and then I discovered it on VHS. And I really liked it at the time, and I've rewatched it since, and I don't know if it's nostalgia, or I don't know if it's the anticipation of the time and the expectations that I had, but I can't for the life of me decide if this is a good movie or not. And I looked into, recently there's been a little bit of talk about it because it's the 20-year anniversary. And there was a lot of talk about the behind-the-scenes events around the film. And that kind of explains a little bit about my feelings and how it ended up being such a weird, conflicted movie. So let's see Event Horizon. So the year is 1997, and Paul Anderson has been working on his sci-fi horror at Paramount. He's been working with relative freedom, and the movie promises to be dark and twisted and scary with lots of striking, daring, BDSM, gory imagery. The concept itself was pretty striking too. It's a spaceship pioneering an experimental gravity drive, traveling through hell and bringing back some of hell's inhabitants. It's somewhere between Alien and Hellraiser, with hints of The Shining. It's basically a haunted house in space. Actually, the original draft handed out to Paul Anderson by the studio revolved around aliens, but he very smartly decided to veer away from that and head into haunted house territory. But then it turns out that Paramount's big upcoming release Titanic is behind on post-production, and there's no way that they'll be able to release it in the summer as planned. So Paramount look around for something to replace it, and they find Event Horizon. If ever there was a movie ill-suited for a big summer release, this was it. So suddenly a movie is under summer tentpole scrutiny and has to conform to those standards. Paramount organizes test screening of the assembly cut, and as all assemblies, it's much too long because that's just the first pass when the editor puts in all the footage that's been shot. So they request a whole bunch of cuts from it, but what's specific to this movie is that the cut also contains a lot of footage that completely freaks them out. And this has kind of become the stuff of legend because the stories of what was on that footage are pretty amazing. Amongst the stuff that ended up on the cutting room floor, rumor has it that there was extended footage of what happened to the previous crew of the Event Horizon, which is kind of a blood orgy inspired by the paintings of Bruegel and Bosch with rape, cannibalism, torture, and real-life amputees as extras. Good luck replacing Titanic with that. What's left today, the movie as we know it, is kind of clunky and cheesy in places, but it's kept enough of the original idea to deserve a special place in the hearts of horror fans. It's ambitious, it's gothic, it's gloomy, it's weird, it looks super striking. The ship itself was modeled on Notre Dame of Paris, which explains why it has all those columns and arches and all those flourishes that make no sense in space, but it looks incredible. Sam Neill chews the scenery with great delight, the cast is generally pretty great. This year marks Event Horizon's 20th anniversary, and if you haven't seen it in a while, I think it's due a rewatch.
God help